Okay, we'll start. Okay, so thanks for attending to this webinar. Today's webinar topic is very long, actually. Then I want to like include everything that I have done. So actually the title is the open innovation to like convergence, and then I try to combining all the emerging technology up to now. So the technology is AI, Metaverse, blockchain, IoT, and then sustainability is a kind of like a technology and some other like other topic, but I want to include the sustainability innovation as a technology part. So I want to talk about how actually the synergetically integrate this technology to get the more like a maximized value through this technology innovation. So I'll share my slide first. So I will start my slideshow. Okay, so why I think about to discuss about this topic. That's one I look at the situation, the current situation that I and our colleagues now. So you can see that actually that I have seen this kind of a very similar situation about more than 10 years ago. So I think that I think of doppelganger, something like a very similarity between two sides. So you see that like year 2007 and 9, there was a financial crisis, and then there are like unknown event, and then some like a big like a crisis in economic. And then just after this crisis, actually we have a new technology and then disrupt all industry. It was a iPhone, smartphone. So that actually the new technology has the mass market driven by this kind of the new technology. And then what happened was like a conflict among like a new market leaders and all the incumbent. And then you see that I'm also like a patent attorney, so I'm expertise in patent. So there was a heavy dispute among these competitors regarding to this smartphone technology. And then I've seen this year, right? Starting from the last year, we are looking at some symptom of downturn, and we saw like some retail bank problem, and then we have seen in Silicon Valley big tech layout. Even you've seen that like just 2 years ago, like Facebook changes the name to Meta, but the Mark Zuckerberg said he wanna be like the major driver of this Metaverse, and then they have like a huge investment, but recently they announced that they don't wanna pursue in this space, and then I also see that like a Microsoft and a company actually try to do Metaverse, actually they lay out all the people. And then the same situation happened, and in this period OpenAI's ChatGPT, so like AI is it is started to in the mass adoption. And then what happened was increase in patent application opt last year. And then I'm thinking about like not many people know about actually but you know that the OpenAI technology is based on Google technology. So they go transformer technology. And so actually I saw that the Google patent actually read on the ChatGPT architectures, actually that they infringe it, but the Google never sue them. But we should know that there is always happening this kind of like a dispute among players. I'm not sure whether it happened or not, but possibility. So I just think about that through these two sides that from my experience decade ago and then now. And then so I would think about is that the the people are thinking about is to reduce their cost and then try to find out a new revenue source. So so they want to like utilizing some whatever their existing resources without putting their money into developing new thing, except they are very sure about like generative AI, something like that. They're sure that they can be a return. Otherwise, other technology, they don't want to spend their money for the developing the technology. So having said actually that I want to think about that as a patent expert and an emerging technology expert, that I from starting the early this year, I started to think about that how to utilize the patent for this situation. So actually I did several webinar before this webinar about utilizing patents for this kind of uncertain situation in economic downturn. And then there are several ways actually that I created some new idea to utilizing patents. And then the motivation is this. For example, the intangible asset is 90% of the S&P 500 market value. And then the patent is about 30%. But patent actually is kind of like intangible asset and valuable resources, but they're harder to utilize to link with some to generating new revenue source. The traditional way is to like a licensing or a sell out or something like that, but it's not easy, and then that's not the only way to utilizing patent. So this is one example. Actually, this kind of patent value actually cannot reveal until a certain time. Unfortunately, not during the time of the company, but when they disrupt, like they bankrupt or they exit. So this is example that actually in the like a traditional asset value, they are hidden, but this is kind of like in the bankrupt or whatever, that the most valuable asset is a patent. So this proved by the Nortel and Google and other like a startup exit that provide some specific number that how much the patent is valuable business resources. So why not we can utilize this? This is a good time because I mentioned that that exists already, and then less utilized. And then, so I would think about that we can utilize in patent information in many several ways. But one way that I think about today is to using there for the engine for the new innovation in product service, and then developing new market in more like a cost-effective way than just like a standalone R&D, put a lot of money like Meta, and then not create any market, right? So utilizing this existing patent like a business resources to make innovate and create value. So this is a motivate. So I've looked at the what kind of technology available today, especially in digital space, that are utilized, and I've seen that, and then I've looked at this one over the decade, looking at the like a develop patent and develop like a technology and how for startups to commercialize this area. So I pretty much know about this field. So I'm looking at the like not just for the like each individual like technology innovation, but they can be integrated to like generate more valuable like situation here. So here is some example. Like this is not exhaustive list. This I just made some summary that I think about the most important. So for example, AI blockchain can integrate in many different ways. So for example, then AI for blockchain, that actually the mostly AI support the blockchain. So one way is actually the decision actually that I recently to do for my some work. Actually, I asked ChatGPT about some specific like a goal some specific business purpose and ask about the designer like a smart contract. Because I just provide like, okay, I wanna create a smart contract for managing, for example, managing NFT for patent, something like that, for the proposal of something thing. And then I want to like mint this NFT in like, for example, Polygon blockchain. I provided some specific detail and they generate very beautiful. I'm also like a provider. I want to use like a ERC 721 like a standard for the smart contract, and it beautifully providing the like for example the code can be working in like Ethereum environment or something like that. So this is going on. So AI can utilizing some of the like in blockchain space. So one was like to create like a smart contract and operating and validation, whatever they can do that. And then also like it'll be like using the streamlining whole transaction processes, and even like a blockchain system improvement, like some of the bottleneck in blockchain system is a scalability and interoperability. So they can have for that. And then also like they maximize the performance through the like analyze the blockchain system. So this is the actually that we can bring in this space that AI can support for the existing blockchain innovation. And you can see the blockchain for AI. Actually, this is another way. Actually, the blockchain can have for existing AI innovation, like a data marketplace for AI. So, you know, like a ChatGPT is we call like large language model. So large language model is based on huge amount of training data. So data is a key that they needed in AI like a development. So they can provide like a huge different type of the marketplace for the AI training data. And then also like we need to find out the ownership of the data for AI. This is one way the Web3. So actually the who owns the data and then use for the AI. And then you may heard about like some of there was like some legal action against to like open AI about utilizing some public data actually owned by some entity. Right, this is some kind of situation, so they can prove the ownership, and then also like a cost-effective way to automatic computing platform for AI. So they can provide like, for example, like a privacy or aware way to like utilizing multiple computers to using in the training AI. And mostly that there are a lot of the situation that people think about the ethnics of AI, and then there are a lot of the policies and developing in this space, and then mostly that the people know about to control this AI, and up to now the deep learning is a black box. So there was activities like explainer AI, and then blockchain can be the part of this innovation. So they can combine together and then synergetically provide some way to innovate. So for example, here is a double shield for like a cybersecurity. So they can combine together, like provide much stronger like a shield for cybersecurity, and they can use in the identity management is very important part. And then they also apply to the like enhanced IoT application that I will share this presentation later, so you can look at detail in context, but I want to just touch the essential part. And then AI and IoT, you know, the IoT is already kind of like mature. But the funny thing was that actually IoT starting from, for example, in RFID technology quite a long time ago. And then I was one of the part of that the initial like development. And then they are reviving. So it's interesting. Every technology is a cycle. So they would start and then adopting and then some dying and then revibrate. So that's we call like a technology assimilation. So actually the whatever you have a technology actually and later there was another technology developed and they can combine together synergy and then they revive the old technology. this is the situation that happened in the IoT. Also, they combine with the AI for IoT, that the AI can provide an analytic platform for like a time series, like a multi-sensory measurement. So provide like a data quality for IoT sensor data. And then definitely IoT process automation can be used. And then as the computing is very important. So actually they provide like contextual aware, intelligent way to manage this IoT as it. And then IoT can also AI for particularly in relation to the like digital twins. So that actually the AI, IoT actually link between the virtual space and real space. So AI can be like a utilizing not only the A in real space, in the virtual space, usually the metaverse way. So they can utilizing this concept to like a practical maintenance and decision making processes. So they can combine. Usually this is a topic that everybody call like AIoT. So AIoT is a combining two, that there are many initiatives for this field. So one way is like providing sustainability, like energy efficiency. So the get together like make system more energy saving, like in the smart home, other building industrial setting. So this is one way actually the AI and IoT can combine, and then they can combine with like a sustainability to make a more better energy efficiency of the some system. Okay, and how about blockchain IoT? Yeah, definitely they can combine. So for example, the blockchain for IoT, that they provide the blockchain characteristics of the like decentralization and ad hoc networking for the secure information exchange, and then some of the autonomous system-based smart contract, and then they provide the transparency and trust. So they are good candidate for like a privacy preserving IoT system, something like that. And then IoT can also have for the blockchain, like the usually the identity management, like usually called self-sovereign, like identification, usually a decentralized identification system. So they have through like supporting this decentralized identification system to provide the identity data collection or better fewer credentials. So they provide valuable like information to have like this kind of identity management. So they can combine like a good example with the efficient supply chain management. So they can provide like a more efficient, transparent way, the effective way to manage supply chain management. So this is one way. So gathering together, right? For example, AI, blockchain, IoT can combine together. So it's a powerful synergy. So they can combine together as a kind of revolutionize various industry by providing secure, intelligent, and data-driven solution. So the possibility is limitless. So it's up to how we can actually combine them for generating new values. So for example, decentralized AI market, privacy preserving federated learning system, decentralized parallelized machine learning is just one example that I have it, but you can think of what any combination of these technologies can provide a new way to innovate. And the connected autonomous vehicle communication management system, or the link with the 5G with the AI blockchain IT as a computing system provides huge potential in industry, healthcare, in manufacturing, in everywhere. And then how about AI metaverse integration? Yeah, definitely. So this is one actually recently I did my own project. For example, AI can generate metaverse. Usually called generative AI can. So you can build up 3D space and then put in the 3D object. For example, like from the 2D image, you can generate a 3D environment, 3D object product. Just you type it, or just to say to your AI to generate this kind of the new metaverse world. So, and then one particular example is a digital fashion design that I have been working on for over like 1 year. So this is one of the frontiers in metaverse of like application in fashion area. And then also like I work heavily on like a 3D shopping experience, and I work with several startups to developing their patents and commercialize it for example, like a 3D, like a shopping space, your avatar can join, and then social shopping, and then AI provide assistant, and then they provide like a lot of like virtual try on. So they combine with it. So and then even in like NFT image creation, that NFT can provide some like a virtual product, and then they provide a different type of product images through the generate AI. So this is one. And Metaverse also can have AI. For example, that AI, for example, if you want to utilizing some of the existing in the data in the physical space to train AI in the large language model is limited. So how the strategy, you can extend your data space from the real space to virtual space. This is the actually I found some patent about this one. So for example, that you make a same system like for example that you have like you want to particularly train your AI based on some of the like data, then not only you have like a bunch real space. For example, you want to like utilizing AI for like in the factory automation process, and then they can do in the real space, but they provide exactly the digital twin space. And then you learn your like AI through this virtual space data. But the beauty of this virtual space is they can generate unlimited number of the training data, right? They can simulate it and then feedback to the real space, and then retest it, right? It's kind of digital twin mechanism. So this is one example that Metaverse can use for AI. They combine together the proper experience, provide a proper experience, and enhance the virtual economy and the power education training. Is all possible with this combination. And then how about sustainability? Yeah, I also like to mention that I heavily work on the sustainability matters, and I found that there was some disconnection between what the sustainability is to targeting goal, and actually what actually each individual institutions are doing. And mostly that I found that the people are a lot of people are community in the sustainability that called ESG. They are only concerned about like how to comply like some standard or the governmental regulation, environmental regulation, something like that. But actually, I found that for example, that the one company, they have like a chief innovation officers, chief sustainability, they never communicate each other. So the one body completely like a manager, the other guy just doing their one innovation, but actually no synergy between them. So that's what I found for over 2 years working, and that I have a lot of the network discussion with like a chief sustainability officer as I'm expert in innovation, and then I always question why not discuss each other, right? So I just bring this attention. So for example, AI innovation can support a lot of sustainability. Blockchain can support a lot of sustainability. This is one I just mentioned the only E part in ESG, like environmental and social governance, and then in the sustainability there was like economic factors. I just only consider environmental factors. They are very like clearly can show some how they integrate. But other part actually I already provide a lot of the like list of the how they can apply to sustainability. But anyway, this is some example that for carbon footprint management and renewable energy source, environmental monitoring, waste management, recycling, water risk management can AI can support sustainability effort. And blockchain also like carbon footprint tracking, and the decentralized network power transactions. And there are many ways. And the IoT also like providing carbon footprint governance, gas emission monitoring, so all kind of like IoT sensors to bring that. Even the metaverse, right? Metaverse is like way to mimic like a real space. So for example, you can build up your like shopping mall in the real space, but there was like the virtual twin of your metaverse space. And then actually whatever you have done almost done in the real space can be replaced by your virtual activities. So they can save a lot of the energy and a lot of resources. And then this is why actually the metaverse can provide some eco-friendly way to like to support this sustainability. using this metaverse. So this is one example that actually that summarize, but there may be many hundred out there that you can apply the existing AI, blockchain, IoT, and metaverse technologies for sustainability. So you can think about how they can combine. So having said that, I just showed some example like how they can integrate and then create a new way to application, right? And then how to do, right? Because we know that. So there are huge opportunity can integrate these technologies. Then how can do? For example, the one company want to do this, huge amount of the resources required, right? So as I mentioned at the starting, actually my motivation, existing resources, using resources like cost effective, but to create a new revenue source through the innovation. So I just suggest open innovation. Open innovation is everybody will know about. It is not the new concept. It developed a decade ago, and then a lot of company already did it. So it's kind of like collaborate like the doing R&D, utilizing like outside of the innovation resources. So bring to the inside and based on this outside like innovation resources and integrate the in-house resources to generate a new product, service, innovation. So this is concept. So how we can do that? Actually, that's my suggestion is there are for example, I'm showing you this one because I did intensive the pattern research over several years. So this is one example that I look at the more than decade history of the patent application in the globally. So this is one example for the counting only the US PTO like AI patent, and I provide like who holds the huge amount of AI patent based on analysis like IBM, Google, Microsoft, and Samsung, Intel, Siemens, Facebook, a lot of company. I saw that there are more than like 100,000 like patents related to AI. And then they cover the global USA, Japan, South Korea, China, and all the country that competed for this innovation. And then they have a huge different application in different like industry sectors. And also like blockchain, I look at it and then I find that more than like a 500,000, maybe the 50,000 like patents available globally in purely on blockchain space. Actually, I look at this one who has the activities in patent space for the blockchain, and look at the who owns like a USA, China, Japan, or something like that. And then they can apply all kind of different industry. So I also did like IoT, the huge amount of IoT, more than AI and blockchain out there available. And then also like I look at the metaverse innovation, and this is one actually that I integrate all kind of the information related to metaverse related, and I have a like good list of the like data resources about then I can utilizing some of the key area of the innovation required of metaverse. So this is some example that require like 3D rendering, 2D to 3D conversion, and automotive showroom application like tours, and some of the like retail shopping, and then meeting. So even smart factory. This is just a few example, but I have like hundreds more than patent actually the already exist can utilize this one combined with other patents. And then even the sustainability, this is not my work that actually this is LexisNexis provided this information about. They map with like all like a sustainability area topics, or they call like UNSC sustainability like a development goal, we call it. So there is 17 areas of different specific topic, and then they map with this kind of like a specific topic, how they relate to some specific area of the patents. So there are huge amount patents available. So this is my idea that but this is one example. I also like I try to find out in my patent analysis how they actually show this integration trend. And then I found about, this is just 2 years ago, but at the time there was like about 10% of the whole pattern actually used in integration. So I saw there's some specific topic actually. This is from the old patent that I researched. So there are a lot of the activities going on already in integrate them. So this is one motivation that I want to utilize this huge amount of like business resources, this pattern, right? So I just suggest that how can you utilize it. I call like a pattern pool. Like a pattern pool is also old concept. Like for example, I'm also like heavily working on like standard essence pattern pool, like a 3Z, 4Z, 5Z, kind of like a pattern rate layer, like a standard, like the communication protocol, and then but out there like other like a pattern like MPEG or other like a digital pattern, but that's not the only one, right? Because if the industry can consensus about this effort, and then they can get it together like to make a good pattern pools and share together. So actually there is the synergy, like a co-cooperation, and then it can combine with like the putting their own pattern and then make a synergetic integration, like I mentioned it. And then they can use it utilizing, for example, they can utilizing pattern pool like developing new technology product and service. So actually that you can have like a strengthen their current market position and diversify into the new related market or expand it into new markets. So they create a new market and create a new revenue sources through this process, right? So this is the idea that actually you have a different type of the like AI pattern pool, blockchain pattern pool, IoT pattern pool, Metaverse pattern pool, system pattern pool, and then you can combine together. It depending on how actually they integrate create value, right? Up to now, I analyze the situation that I show the opportunity of integration and actually how to do. And then this is a purely my part, how I can contribute this space. And I think over that I'm expertise in all this space. And I found that for me, that recently I was like work with several like some IP solutions to relate to space, and then I found that still is not enough to make this field like mass adoption or something like that. So I motivate how I contribute. So I try to develop a new way to developing this open innovation pattern for I call DAO. It's a decentralized autonomous organization. It's based on Web3. So DAO is kind of like DAO is like a decentralized like organization to like form and operation of the pattern for. So it's purely membership. So I'm not going to like initiate this kind of huge amount, but I wanna provide some platform. So any company or industry or the organization consortium can use my platform to build up this kind of the pattern for to integrate all kind of different technology and collaborate each other to generate like a new values. So this is my idea that I'm still under developing. I'm developing pattern. I'm going to file it soon. And then also like I'm trying to get a lot of the idea how actually implement this one, and also like to find out the collaborator to do this effort. So DAO is kind of good actually. It is operated by the member. So I'm going to provide DAO formation and DAO operation. This will be AI power to provide a user-friendly interface and interaction with this system. And then in the system, actually, there is every pattern information put in the pool will be minted as a blockchain. We call the pattern NFT. And then all the operation is governed by these members. So the member will, the pattern provider will be the like for founders, like a pattern like licensors licenses or will be like a member of this pattern, and then they will be like they get it together. They can communicate like what kind of innovation they can do, and then how with their like revenue resources return will be shared, something like that. All kind of operation will be operated by the like a democratic way in a decentralized DAO. So this is the idea that I want to propose today, that if you want to like collaborate with me for my idea, that then I welcome. that this kind of new aperture, and then I think that is a time to market that I saw you in the current situation. I think that this kind of thing is required, and then how actually the effectively and cost efficient way, and then to make more like a successful way to launching this kind of open innovation for utilizing pattern for this kind of emerging technology integration to generate a new value is that's one I want to talk about today. Okay, so I will start my sharing. Okay, so I think that we have like about 15 minutes left. So I welcome any comment or question or whatever you want to talk. Any comment or anything you want to share?
Uh, Hi, Alex. It's Mohit here.
Hi, Mike, how are you? Yeah, it's too
I'm doing
late to
fine.
you, right? You're in
Yeah,
India.
it is too late. I'm traveling. Yeah. So, but yeah, I have a quick question. So I was looking at the slides, and I'm just wondering about the AI patents in China
Mhm.
somehow, like comparative to US, and it looks like to me, I don't know whether we need to just revisit uh, because I was going through yesterday. It seems like, and by the way, before I went into that, I divulged into that discussion. Congratulations! This idea seems your thought process is commendable. Our this licensing process has to be democratized, and this is something which I would like to commend you on that you have come up with a really wonderful idea,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah,
And now,
regarding the Chinese pattern, actually, there are many things we can discuss, but for my research, actually, I excluded China. The
hmm,
reason is that because the database is not good, and mostly the China has some different patent system. So they have a two type of the patent application is a regular patent application that exactly same thing as we have, and
yeah,
it's like is I don't know about how can it deliver. It's not actually the patent. It is not severely exam. Like for example, if you apply patent, actually the exam by the USPTO examiners, but it's kind of like a utility something.
yeah, you're right. Utility parent, what they say, and they just throw it up, right?
Yeah, so there are shoes. Right?
But
So,
that's what I was wondering, because yesterday somebody gave me the data, and I shouted my teammate on, because the data came up. It was like 3.5 million patents filed in that. I said, give me a break. What is this nonsense? Then
uh-huh.
I went back, and you were right. They're all utility, utility, utility. And this was like, oh my gosh, what is coming in?
Yeah, that's why. So it's very hard to exactly like count the how much the patent activity in China. But you know that is I found that sometimes they are very good innovation, right? It's in on
Yeah,
a
they are. They are.
but we
Yeah.
admit, but in the statistical way, it's not very wise way to including China because there is some number actually that is voucher. It's not real one. So
Oh, oh,
that's why. But
yeah, cool.
otherwise, yeah, for example, I'm only look at the Chinese pattern because just to look at how these guys are doing some kind of innovation because there's some different I found it because I'm from originally from South Korea, so I know they are mostly like a typical the Oriental guys, and then I found that I like one thing is that they find everything, right? Even even I think about it's not can be pattern over, right? Just idea, just file. For example, in the United States, file a patent, there was several requirements. For example, enablement, best
Yeah.
written description, right? Because as a patent attorney, so I have some criteria whether I well written, but they don't care. So they file everything, whatever they think about is idea, right? But sometimes it's good to look at it and then what did this guy thinking about to get the hint. But in a like rigorous way to patent, actually, we need to be very careful to including Chinese patents. Yeah.
Yeah, very right. Thanks, Alex.
Any comment or anything you want to share? Okay, so anything, if you want to like share your idea or you want to participate my effort, I'm going to promote this idea with many industry peers, and then to have a chance to talk with a lot of guys. And I wanna initiate this kind of I think that this is time to market really required now. So anyone have a share my idea or some collaborate, just let me know. You know that I found that among 200, more than 200 like register, I found that most of them are my first the LinkedIn like connections. So you know me. So just let me know if you are interested in participating my new idea. Okay. Okay, so I will start my recording.